All right, everybody, so I am so bad at answering questions that I thought I would take the time today at the beginning of a video to do just that. So this is a question from Ellen, and by the way, out there, everybody who hears me say hi to Strider out there, that's Ellen's dog right there, Strider. And Sophie says hello every once in a while. So at any rate, she's got a great story about her pup right there. It's I believe it's a companion dog at a hospital. Is that right, Ellen? If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. At any rate, her question is, so explain something to me. I have those regional A boxes, but when I go into eBay to print a label, that is not ever a choice. How do you get your labels for the region boxes? So I'm going to go over to my computer. This is my kind of YouTube computer. I'm going to go over to my eBay computer and let you take a look at how you do that. All right, I'm going to see if I can hold this steady so we don't have any addresses pop up here. So you'll notice that this item's 2 pounds, 12 ounces. So I might be able to get it a little cheaper. Probably not. This one is probably not a good case for it, but I'm going to show you how to do it nonetheless for when you do have good cases. So you'll notice that there is no region A here. So you go down here and you hit all services and you still won't see a region A. And I think this is the problem you're having. So what you need to do here, region A is a particular size box. So your dimensions are too big. So if you know it will fit in a region A box, change your dimensions down to the region A box size and it'll appear as one of your choices. And I don't know exactly what that box size is, so I'm just going to make it smaller just so I know it'll fit. So let's just make it a bunch smaller to get it to show up. Whoop, that's ounces. What am I doing? Although it shouldn't make a difference. All right, let's go with 2, which is incorrect, but it'll give you the idea. And now you should see, apparently it won't, there we go. You should see that region A choice pop up now. And in this case, it would not be a good one, and you would not want to use it. You would just use, well, that's a padded one, so maybe you would use it. It just depends. So that's how you're going to do it. You're going to do it with the dimensions and making the dimensions meet or be smaller than the region A boxes, and that's how you get it done. So, Alan, hopefully that answers your question for you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. My name is Kevin, and we're in the eBay cave, and you know, we set a record the other day for the amount of sales in a day. Not a dollar amount, but a number of sales in a day. And today we set another record, but I'm going to make you hang around just a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what that is. We had a pretty good day of sales, really good day of sales for us, actually, and we sold a grand total of $345.36 out of the Commonwealth Picker store, and I think about $10 out of the Homeschool Hustler store as well. We're going to let you take a look at those sales in a minute, but there was one thing I wanted to talk about before we did, and that was a poll I did last week. And the poll was, what type of printer do you use? I have the Rollo here, and I used a jet printer, an inkjet printer for a long, long time. And, you know, it worked and it was fine. And then the sales started going up. So, I used to sell 2-3 items a day, and then it turned into 4 or 5. And then some days I was selling 10 items a day. And occasionally, like today, I think I have 13 or 14. And it just became obvious that I needed a different system. It was taking too long. And not to mention the ink cost a lot of money. So I decided to go with the Rollo printer instead of the Dymo, instead of the Zebra printer. And I've been pleased. I'm not going to trash any other printer because I'm not really aware of the other printers. I know I like the Rollo. So I was amazed to see how many of you out there are not using any printer at all. I couldn't believe it, but for a while it was like 25%. I jokingly put stand in line at the post office. Over 20% of you said that you stand in line at the post office. So I'm assuming you're either not a reseller or you're a reseller who just started out and maybe you don't understand how to use the eBay postage. I'm not quite sure, but you need to figure it out. Maybe we can do a video and put it on the other channel about just basic shipping. It shocked me. It really surprises me how many people are still using inkjet, to be honest with you. I'm not going to suggest getting away from the inkjet or from the other style printers, but I think that once your volume hits a certain amount of sales, 4, 5, 6, 7 a day, it's worth thinking about. There's an initial cost outlay, but after that, it's not too bad. You're not paying for ink. And you know what? I never have to worry about running out of ink and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have another ink cartridge? You know how we are about putting stuff off. I just bought a ton of paper. Matter of fact, I bought a ton of paper for this printer, at a garage sale in Roanoke. I haven't aired that one. It's been a month ago or so, and I'll air it sometime this winter. And I got a pretty good deal on that paper. You can actually get that style paper from UPS if you have an account with them. I just happen to not have an account, so I end up paying for it. Let's look at what's sold, and then I'm going to tell you what record we set, and we'll add something else on the end like we always do. All right, another Fontanini consignment sale. This is Winemaker's Shop for the 5-inch Fontanini. And this one I think has all of the styrofoam in it, so it should be fairly easy. I'll pack some more stuff in it to make it a little bit more secure, and then I'll put it probably in a 12 by 12 by 8, but this is going to be taller than that, so it'll be two 12 by 12 by 8s together. I don't know that I'll show shipping on this one. I occasionally will show shipping for those of you who enjoy that, maybe every third or fourth video. And this may be a good one to do that with, so I might try to do that. This is a $40 sale plus shipping, so you know, after fees and all those things that go along with it, I'll probably be around, if it's a 50-50 split, around $18 for me and $18 for them. It's a pretty good deal. All right, this is another one of those sales from Blue Ridge Mama. She's really gotten good at this picking stuff. So she was buying at the Goodwill, and she got a sweater machine. I've told this story before. Literally the exact same machine that I passed up at a yard sale. I passed it up for 15 bucks. It ended up a couple days later at the Goodwill, and they had $2.99 on it, and she bought it, and she sold it. She's been selling it off in parts. It was quite a bit of work, and this is the third different part that is sold, and we still have 2 more left, and this sold for $21.95 plus shipping. And so she's going to end up making over $80 on this buy, which is incredible. If you run across those sweater machines, Bond is the name of the sweater machine. There's a few other styles, but I think this is the big one. Go ahead and pick it up and part it out. It's not a bad deal. All right, this is a gift from one of the viewers out there who lives locally. He says, hey, you wouldn't, you know, he's not a reseller. He's like, well, how about this? Would this resell? So Josh, if you're out there, this resold. And I guess I'm going to have to take you out, or maybe I'll get Blue Ridge Mama to make you some of those ribs or something. I'm not quite sure. At any rate, this sold for $30 plus shipping. And it is a Hunter Engineering wooden car. It's an alignment sales tool salesman sample model. So 30 bucks plus shipping. You just never know. All right, we bought this one right after we bought that John Deere hat, which, if you notice, isn't back there anymore. Somebody bought it, but I'm putting that on a different episode. And this thing, it's called a Spark Agility Training Ladder. When I bought it, I think I only paid a couple bucks. I walked away from it, actually. And the guy chased me down and said, come on, what are you taking? I think I said $2 or something. And he sold it to me, and it went for $21.71. I thought it would go for like 40 or 50 bucks. But then when I got it home and looked at it, it was this plus some hurdles combined would go for that price. So nonetheless, still a nice little profit, making around, you know, $18 profit on it. I might show you how I ship this thing too. It probably will fit in 2 shoe boxes. 2 different USPS shoe boxes is my guess. So we'll have to, if you like that, hang around to the end of the video. And we usually, if we do shipping, we put it on the end of the video. Speaking of the end of the video, sometimes I'll put some hauls on the end of videos, but lately I've been putting them on a different channel because a lot of people don't like to go through those hauls, and I put them up sporadically when I have the chance and when I have the time. So we first went through the My Little Ponies, and then we went through the vintage t-shirts, and then we're going to go through some of the other things. There's Fraggle Rock, I think we've done Popples already on this program. I think we have Care Bears, we have some vintage Disney, and some other Hug-a-Bunches. And the monster ones, there's more than just the one monster. I think there's 4 or 5. So we're going to go through a few more of those things and put them on that if you want to go over there and check that out. And a bunch of people have. And one more thing, a ton of people gave great responses to the Virginia Found Goods that we put on the end of a video a couple days ago. And it really was a neat place. And we did buy a couple things. A couple of you have guessed at what we bought, and you're just going to have to wait and find out. So we'll see. All right, here is a Monopoly Harley Davidson edition, and I cannot remember where I bought this. I just cannot remember. It seems so vivid in my memory. Maybe some of you out there can tell me where I bought it. I know I put it on a yard sale video, or at least it's coming out soon. I just can't remember where I bought it, but I think I bought it for $2. So this one sold for $14.95 plus shipping. It's not amazing. Harley stuff sells really well, but I guess the kind of people who ride Harleys don't often sit down and play Monopoly is my guess. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. but it sold for a pretty good price, and I'm pretty happy with it. About a $12 profit. By the way, that's the kind of thing that will sell at Christmas. A lot of people like to buy a unique gift. They don't care that it's used. They like to buy vintage gifts. They like to buy things that are nostalgic for people or that are different. And that's not a game you can go out and just pick up at Walmart. It's not there. So they got to come looking for it somewhere, and eBay's a good place to find that kind of stuff. This is a Commonwealth Picker special, and I do not suggest reselling things like this, but I just want to let you know that it's out there and it's available. These are a couple of Mousetrap replacement balls. I've seen people take Mousetrap games and part the whole thing out. The problem is about 75% of those parts are extremely long tail, and you're going to end up, if you're going to do it over and over again, which is the only way it's really worth it, because you can just make one listing and then add to it every time you find them. If you're going to do that, you're going to end up with certain parts that you just have mountains of, and they just keep adding up. So, at any rate, these sell for $5.99 free shipping. So for those of you out there who are wondering, that's, roughly a $2 profit. All right, we're going to go over a few viewer sales. We'll deal with the Eneman first, and then there's a couple more viewer sales that are kind of neat, and I want you to hang around and take a look at. So we have one going out, I think, to Brenda. I think that's the name. It says, love your YouTube channel. Can't wait to see your shed. It does say Brenda. There you know. Sometimes the name's attached or like a spouse or something, but in this case, if you're gonna buy one, put that note in your name in there, or who you want to shout out to. So Brenda, awesome, thank you. And Brenda paid full price. So I mean, you guys don't need to do that. If you want to, that's amazing, and it's a gift to us, and we really appreciate it. But this one is going to be sent out to Brenda ASAP, and we really, really appreciate it. If you do want a deal, just click on that thing and send me a message. And I've done something, y'all can check it out. I changed the quantity to the exact, I had it at 1,500, and I've been knocking it down. So it looks like he's either with that purchase or with all the ones for today, we're down to 1,487 left. And so we'll kind of watch that thing go down. I don't know, kind of humorous. Maybe I'll just say how many we have left every time we sell one. All right, and here's one more, and this one's going out to Chris. So glad we were able to meet. This is the Chris. If you remember seeing the video, it's got the thumbnail of somebody pointing at me, and we were looking at jackets, and they said, hey, we know you, and that was that video. That's this Chris. So your YouTube videos and advice have been very educational in my introduction into the world of eBay selling. So he's a brand new eBayer. I'm now in my second month of reselling, and it's going great. Look for my intro into the world of YouTube soon as the Patriot Picker. I will display my Eneman proudly. Best success to you. So anyways, Chris, thank you very much. If you are local and you want one, you can get a slightly better deal if you go to Bell Treasures or go to Needful Things. We have them in both of our antique booths. And yes, we haven't forgot about the antique booth video. All right, here are the Hotrod magazines, and they sold. And let me take it, this is not even half of them right here. There's a total of 40 of these magazines, and they were in pretty good shape, considering the age. They have a little bit of a smell to them, but I'll tell you what, to find this amount of magazines from the 50s in this good a shape is pretty hard to find. I had these listed for $100. I paid $10 for them. We sold one magazine for $10, including shipping, to a viewer. And this, once that went up, we had another viewer say, hey, I'd like to have this. And they told me a little story. I don't know that I'm going to tell the whole story with it. I'll leave it up to them. Maybe they can tell the story on their channel because it's a viewer with a YouTube channel. So Ron, our R&K Treasure Center, we appreciate it. I'm glad they're going where they're going. I think they're going to somebody who will really appreciate them. And because it was Ron and because of who it's going to, I sent him an offer for $60. So he took $40 off the asking price. And we are going to get these shipped off to you today. And I hope they enjoy them. And we'll be watching your show to see if they were a hit or not. So thanks, Roy at R&K Treasure Center. We'll try to put your link below. All right, so I think you're seeing a theme here, and this is the record. We sold a ton of these Fleet Enema, and I think these Eneman are kind of a way for viewers to say thank you, and or a way for them to put something funny in somebody's stocking. So at any rate, thank you all so much. This one is going out to Colby, who is a viewer, a local viewer here in Colby. We appreciate it. Can I tell you a little secret? Colby's one of my old students. He was a pretty good one too. All right, here's another sale, and this is not a viewer sale. This is not a viewer, so this one is going out to a non-viewer, $12.81. So I used to sell these things. That's why I bought them to begin with. I would sell 2 or 3 a week, and it seems like now we're selling, 10 to 15 a week. But I would buy them in the hundreds, and then I finally went back to the source and I just bought every single one that they had. So they've always been making me good money. There's also some out there that are actually Christmas ornaments. These are just little plushes, but there are some smaller ones that are Christmas ornaments that I used to sell. I had tons of them and sold them all out. So if you ever come across a load of Eneman, you know who to call. I'll buy them in bulk. All right. We have a sale of a backpack, and this one went to a viewer as well. Must be local because we're buying Virginia Tech stuff. Here's the backpack. So this was a retail arbitrage item. I bought this thing at Kmart as Kmart was going out of business. It says $17.88 on the tag. Well, I got this thing for $1.60 or something like that. It was a ridiculous price. And I thought, hey, I can sell the heck out of these things. I bought like 40 of them. And I sold quite a few. And I was selling them for like $8 a piece, making, $5 or something like that, plus shipping. And they just stopped selling. I haven't sold one of these in over a year. And I decided to take some to the booths because I figured, you know what, these kind of things will sell in the booth and I'll put $5 on them and people will buy them. I haven't gone back to look to see if they've sold yet, but I reduced the price on these to next to nothing. This sold for $4.33 plus shipping, so I'm gonna make $1 or $2. And this one is going out to Elliot. Really enjoy all your videos. Thanks for all the helpful reseller info you provide. So Elliot, appreciate it. And this is coming out to you. And it'll stay first class. I'll just put it in a big poly bag. All right, and last but not least, one more Fleet Eneman sale, and this is going out to Brian. And Brian made a purchase from the Homeschool Hustler store that I can't believe was in the Homeschool Hustler store. It was my mistake. Can you imagine why I put this thing in the Homeschool Hustler store? So what happens is when you have 2 accounts, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm gonna go list something, and I went to go list something, and I listed it and clicked submit and left and did something else, and I came back and I'm like, I just put a Bud Light Lime hat in my kids' store. And one of you viewers out there, I'm not sure who it was, might have been Barbara, told me that this thing was in the Homeschool Hustler store. So what I did was just reduce the price pretty low so it would get out of there and sell. I didn't want to relist it. Bought this at a yard sale in Roanoke. Pretty neat little yard sale. And paid $1 for it. We didn't make much money. We reduced it down. So I'm not going to have the kids come down and say thank you for the Bud Light Lime hat. Brian, if you don't mind, I'm just going to say thank you, and we're going to put it together with that Eneman you bought. So we really appreciate it. And hang around and we'll show you a little bit of shipping. I just dropped that hat. You know what that means? That means the glass breaking sound. All right, anyways, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, and thanks so much for subscribing and liking our channel. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit those alert bells up there, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to hang around and see something cool at the end. Bye. Had a quick sale right after I was done with the video, so I'm going to take a little video of this one and put it on tomorrow's sale. This is a 50-cent buy. It's an old Carolina League baseball, and Jim Bibby. It's a Jim Bibby autograph. It didn't sell for the autograph, I can't imagine, because it's not a very good one. It's kind of faded. And Jim Bibby was a long-time major league pitcher with a lot of success, and he also was the pitching coach here in Lynchburg for a long time for the Hillcats. So 50 cents, and it sold for $10.41. That's about a $5.40. Yeah, it's about a $5.50 profit on a baseball. So nothing to shake a stick at. But I love them because they don't break and you can put them in a bag.
you.